Okay, welcome back. Part 2 with the next part. You know what we're about here. If you don't, go watch some earlier videos. Didn't really mean for it to sound that rude. I apologize. Hopefully you know what we're about here. If you don't, go watch some old videos, other videos. The first video. Okay, I'll stop. It's not getting any better. Okay. Welcome back. The Average Channel. So, in the first part, or the earlier part I recorded today, we changed the oil in this 77 GMC pickup. The other goal for today was to do the load testing for this battery. Again, this battery I just picked up from Jalopy Jungle. It's a reconditioned battery. There's nowhere on here though that it actually says what it is. Cold cranking amps, you know, battery group, all that stuff, except for here in writing on the top, which obviously somebody just wrote on. So, being that it's reconditioned, we're going to test it before we run it, right? Run the engine on it. So, I've got this load tester for the battery. Thank you, Dad, again, for letting me borrow this. We're going to use this just to make sure the battery's okay, and make sure it is cranking out 800 ccas, because that's what it says it's rated for. The other battery that I had in here that came with the truck when I bought it was 1,000 cold cranking amps. Based on the research I've done, that's a bit overkill for something like this, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Although this battery was $43, which is, I mean, to buy a new one, we're talking $150 plus, okay? For something like this, 120 maybe plus. So, you know, 66% savings there on the low end. I'm not complaining. If I have to, you know, test them and take them back, swap them out, whatever, so be it. So this is a, well, let me back up. $43 for the battery itself with a $10 core charge if you didn't bring in your old one, so I traded in the other one, of course. So we're going to test it and see what it's putting out. And there's a 1-year warranty on it as well. So if I do have to take it back and swap it out or do whatever, no big deal. No big deal. So, let's test it. I'm going to put this box over here where it stays dry. It's not mine, of course, so let's take care of it. Alright. Make sure these don't touch the leads. Oop, other way around. Okay. Here's what we've got. I just realized you can't see that very well. Okay, here's what we got. So we've got our gauge here, right? So volts. Yeah, I was going to say volts in volts. That's your reading in volts, I guess, is what I should be saying. And it's got 2 leads on it. Voltmeter. Or this battery tester, right? And then we're looking for the 800, which is there. And that's where we're hoping to see it. 12 volts, 800 roughly, right there. And then we'll see what happens when we push the on button. We're not testing the charging system right now. That's another suspect for the alternator. But if it comes to that, we'll take it in and take it to AutoZone or somewhere and have them test it. But here's the 12 volt range. All the way up here, obviously a bad battery, anywhere from really 9 volts and down. Weak is 10, 12 is where we want to see it, especially in the 800 range. Well, we do need to see it in that 800 range because we have an 800 CCA battery. Back here is 6 volt batteries, so not too concerned there. If we're in here, we have big problems. Okay, so just probably right order to this. Sorry, Dad. I always forget which way to go with these. Alright, so we're going to go positive first, negative next, being careful not to hit the positive, of course. And if this was connected to your car, be careful, because anything that you hit that's metal with the ground is going to make a short circuit, okay, if it's positive's connected. Now, in this case, it's not connected, so there, I answered my own question, hopefully. Comment if I'm wrong, Dad. So I should back up then. Sounds like, from the math that I just did in my head, negative should go on first. Trying to find a good way to put this on. These leads aren't the longest leads. Let's do this. Negative first. My positive needs to stay away. And negative, there I go again, not finishing my thoughts. Negative because when it's connected to the car, it's grounded, right? It's grounded to the chassis, grounded to any piece of metal, really, that holds this car together. The engine, the chassis, you name it. So if you connect your positive first, and then let the negative terminal hit something metal on here, you'll create a short, sparks will fly. Generally not a good time. So there you go. Do it that way. Do as I say and not do as I do. Okay. Negative battery next. Okay. Can you see that? Yep, right there. Okay. So we have just above 12 volts. So we're looking good there. Let's do the load test now. Holding this button down. And we're looking okay. 800 CCAs. Just came off of it. Really what this does is this is just this surface gets hot. This is just a resistive load on here. And it's even a test procedure on here, right? Connect clamps to the correct battery terminals. Positive, negative, which this would not work if it wasn't. And then 2, press the load switch after 10 seconds, read the meter with load on, right? So I guess we could count that down again. Wait for 10 seconds. Well, it's been over 10 seconds now, and our load hasn't changed. So, battery looks good. Good job, Jalopy. I appreciate you having a battery for cheap that'll work in here. The other benefit is that, of course, it says this gets hot right up here. If it's a cold day like this, warm up your hands. Okay, we're looking great. Well, that's all we really needed to test right here. It's looking good to me. Yeah, happy with that. Real happy. Good job, Jalopy. Thank you for that. Good deal on the battery. Okay. Be very careful in here, of course. Don't cross the leads here between these two. All right, I'm going to put this away. And that's really it for the day. I've got to do the oil in my F-150 later. I am probably going to top off the... I'm trying to move you here. I am going to probably top off the coolant. I popped that open a couple episodes back, maybe last time, and that was completely bone dry. So I've got about 3 gallons or so sitting in my garage that I can use. So we'll top that off. That way it gets cranked in through to the engine when we test the fuel. So thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Hope you learned something. Even if you didn't, maybe you can teach me something. Comment. Thanks, guys. Take care.